It was my favourite show. It was the only thing I really desperately wanted to be in. I think in the end I did like over 180 episodes.
What?
I genuinely loved doing my job more than anything. Look at that, you've woken up a proper memory in me. You can watch Tracy Beaker Returns and The Dumping Ground on BBC iPlayer.
Couldn't you afford a proper dog? Excuse me.
Let's go.
Let's get going. Leave me alone. Help!
Because we love each other.
You're my family. My real family.
Kids come and go, but the DG's always there.
Hi, I'm Pegg, and I used to work at the Dumping Ground playing Jody Jackson, but now I work behind the scenes as the acting coach for the cast. I was cast here when I was, I think 10 or 11, moving into secondary school, and I worked here for 11 years. So really it was my whole growing up. I turned a teenager, I came out of being a teenager, I turned 18 here, I turned 21, so it's always going to be a very, very big part of fundamentally who I am.
And it'll become a part of you. Like it's a part of me.
The audition that I originally got was not for Jody. There was a character in series 3 of Tracy Beaker Returns called Kitty. She was in the first 2 episodes. So they then asked me to audition for the character that eventually became Jody Jackson.
I'm Jody Jackson.
And I went to London, which was a big deal. I didn't go to London very much. And I was there all day. I left, and 10 minutes later they rang up and offered me the job.
Woo!
I was a huge fan, so that's really important. That makes it very different to walk into a job. It was my favourite show. It was the only thing I really desperately wanted to be in. Rather than being nervous, I think I had a lot of bravado because I was absolutely petrified, and rather than just say that, I think I was quite cocky. The first person I met was Chris Slater, who played Frank. He was incredibly kind. I remember thinking, oh, it's going to be okay, he's really lovely. Miles Butley-Houghton, who became my ultimate partner in crime.
Best friends forever?
Told me his name was Jack. Look at that, you've woken up a proper memory in me. There was a lot of, climbing up banisters. Dani rugby tackled me. All sorts of things. Don't put this in. I mean, the presenters should love. The acting coaches should be like, what a loser, what are you on about?
What? What are you doing?
Presenting was always something that I was so interested in and I always wanted to do.
This is Saturday Mashup. It's time for Blue Peter.
Enjoy!
I think my mum's got like videos somewhere of me being tiny and like presenting on our fireplace. But it was also something that I never thought I would do because I didn't see the route into it. I was an actor. The coaching, I think she'd be perplexed. I think she'd be like, what do you mean you're still working there? What do you mean you're not even working there on the telly?
What do you mean?
I think she'd just be buzzing that we were still working. We'd be like, yeah, we're still doing it.
Yeah, you got it.
I think I did. I don't know the exact number, but I think in the end I did like over 180 episodes. A lot of my good times was so mundane. I loved waiting around quiet corners, waiting for my cue. I loved waiting for the scene to start when the board was on, standing quietly. I loved reading my books in corners of set, like where there was no light. I genuinely loved doing my job more than anything. There was nothing I loved more than getting a script that I featured really prominently in and that I knew was going to be hard work. All of my favourite moments were the moments that aren't particularly memories. I liked sitting in the sun with Annabelle and Miles. I enjoyed the bus rides in with Ruben when we would sit chatting. I loved a late shoot. The big scenes, the occasional stunts, the night shoots, we went abroad once, kind of that stuff. It's all big and exciting. But actually, the really boring little quiet moments were the bits for me where I was like, this is my life, this is my job. And it was in those little pockets that I found like real happiness at being here.
The truth is, there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
I actually still get messages from normally care leavers, but people that have experienced the care system at least once a day still. It's very touching that even sometimes years after watching it, they kind of reach out and say that it meant something to them, because ultimately, that's what we're all trying to do.
You've got a family right here. The only real family I ever had.
I think it was something that we all understood the responsibility of really strongly growing up. Like what we were doing was very much rooted in a lot of people's reality. But I get a lot of people that say they really related to Jody and her story and the way she reacted to things.
Sometimes you've got to accept things.
I think one of the most important things about this show is the amount of stories they tell. There's so many children in this show and they each have an individual reason why they're in care, an individual personality, individual reactions to things. They're not kind of one lump of kids all experiencing one thing the same way. And so somewhere amongst that, there is at least one kid that somebody watches it feels really strongly represents them. Such an important thing. You can watch Tracy Beaker Returns and The Dumping Ground on BBC iPlayer.